Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, dancing a victory jig atop the corpse of the shuffling horror as I get ready to once again brave the sunken sewers and stagnant sumps of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. Though, when I say brave, that's a bit of a misnomer, or rather, I'm just straight up lying, because I think this episode may be where I take a moment, return to my roots, and remind everyone why Perfidious is right there written on the tin. I'm closing in on the end of our Darkest Dungeon run here. All we've got left, we've got 2 bosses and 2 assaults on the Darkest Dungeon. That's it. It's a gibbering prophet, then I think the drowned crew, and then it's back to the old Darkest Dungeon itself. 1 dungeon is down, but we gotta go. We got another one. Never again. Yeah, we know. Yeah, that's fine. They're not gonna go. But we've got another dungeon to do. We've got to activate 3 Iron Crowns, but I learned my lesson the first time. I am not about to go into the Darkest Dungeon blind again. The first time I went and sent a team into a Darkest Dungeon with no kind of intel or scouting, they got spit roasted like a pig at a luau. Or, you know, like your mom on a Friday night. And while your mom may be into that, and no slut shaming either, hey, you want to double down on 2 strangers in an Arby's bathroom, mom? You go for it. I'm not really down for it, but hey, to each his own. Especially, I'm not going into an Arby's ever. I'd rather lick the bowl of a rest stop toilet than eat in an Arby's. But I digress. So instead of going in blind and winding up like your mom on a Friday, I'm going to steal a page from the book of Ron Jeremy. And no, it's not just a segue into another shot at your mom. Mostly because it is a Friday night and I'm pretty sure there's a queue down at the Arby's. But I'm going to do instead the Ron Jeremy thing and take one of the biggest dick moves that I have ever pulled in the history of Darkest Dungeon, which is I'm going to take 4 level 0 guys and send them into this dungeon and just see what it's all about. So, do I feel a little... Why? Okay, I was not hallucinating the last time I saw that. We very definitely have an abomination lurking at the bottom of our roster there. That's real creepy. But still, okay, anyway, I'm sorry, Ron Jeremy, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's time for our dick move. So what are we gonna do? We're taking 4 rookies, and I'm just gonna go throw them in a wood chipper. So, yeah, you'll do. I mean, a healer, I guess, wouldn't hurt. We should, no, seriously, though, a healer wouldn't hurt. Grave robber, sure. And, a bounty hunter, what the hell. Now, we can't just send them in all willy-nilly down in there. I mean, we're definitely sending these guys to their doom, because I'm gonna send them as far into the Darkest Dungeon as I can, probably with no provisions as well. Maybe some torches, maybe a little food. But we can't send them in unnamed, so let's make them the most egregious crew of throwaway heroes who have ever existed. I think we got to go for a little bit of new warriors action here, so we're going to have Namorita Prentice. Won't quite fit. You know what? Fine, we'll go with Namorita. Then who do we want backing her up? I'm thinking maybe a little Angelica Jones here. And you guys see where I'm going with this, right? You guys know what's coming. Who's this one gonna be? Bounty hunter, sure, let's go Vance Astro. And then finally, because the mask is fully appropriate, this has definitely got to be Dwayne Taylor. So there we go. That's right. What team are we sending into the dungeon? You know, Night Thrasher, Marvel Boy, Firestar, and Namorita, the superhero so lame she couldn't even think up like an actual code name. What's your name? Oh, I'm just Namorita. I'm Namor's cousin, I think. I couldn't come up with something cool like, Subterranean Girl or just the Submarinus. Nothing like that. Nah, I'm just gonna be Namorita. Also, you're gonna throw me into a wood chipper, so why debate and talk about it? Let's just get to work. Are we gonna give these guys any trinkets, Pete? Absolutely not. There will be no trinkets going into this dungeon, because I fully expect none of these people to ever come back. Let's check their skills. Does it matter? I mean, we can just make do with what we've got. We have no real heal, though. It's kind of bad. What do you got? Hey, you're alright. It'll do. Again, okay, so provision. Yes, we're going to go into the Darkest Dungeon. Pete, are you really about to send a team of level 0s into the Darkest Dungeon? Yes, I am. Absolutely. I'm going to do it. Oh, no, they won't be able to... Someone must sacrifice themselves to hold off the fiends. Are you sure you want to proceed? Talisman of the Flame ×3. Wait a minute. What does the Talisman of the Flame mean? Oh, this just... Okay, so we get these. No, wait, this is a Hand of Glory. The left hand of some malefactor who died in the gallows made into a candle with the man's own fat. Does this cost us a shot at the dungeon? Is that what it means when we have to... This is a long dungeon. Alright. Are we going to survive long enough for this to be a long dungeon? Probably not. Yeah, this team is not going to live that long. So you know what? I'm not going to go crazy with the provisions. Let's just... this is probably good. Your party has no trinkets equipped. Yes, I'm well aware of that, because none of them are ever coming back. I don't want them hauling treasure down into dungeons, just leave it for the enemies. Hey, I thought you guys could use some treasure. Here you go. Oh, we actually got an achievement, like lambs to the slaughter. So clearly, the game designers were ahead of the curve on old Perfidious Pete and figured that this would probably be the sort of scumbag tactic someone like myself would actually pull. But I'm not fighting in it. I'm not fighting into a darkest dungeon blind. I'm just not. I'm going to know what we're up against before we go in. It looks like we have to do a quest to sort of activate. This dungeon is too difficult for you. Ah, no shit. That's why you started with 70 stress. Oh, this is not going to end well for these guys. It's also going to end really quickly. So what's... alright, I guess it doesn't really matter which direction we... Oh, good God. There's a lot of goo and sludge on the... Well, this is probably the end of this party right here. We're really only going to get one step into the old dungeon, huh? Probably. Well, Namorita's at least, you know, trying. Comes the Death Lash. Yeah, I don't foresee us walking out of this fight. You don't like this. Yeah, I don't like it either. Well, son of a bitch, the other drawback to this is we're not even going to learn anything because we're going to get immediately killed. And Angelica Jones is immediately a masochist. No, I think the only masochist here is me, Perfidious Pete, so it's looking like this is going to be a real short episode. I mean, I guess we should probably try and stab a priest in the face. Well, she survived at least one. Nice job. Yeah. She's going to afflict her whole team. Vance Astro's resolve is tested. He is also a masochist. Yeah. Namorita's resolve is tested. She's hopeless. Fantastic. Well, there's definitely no hope in this hell. We're all done. This mission is all of the over. And the enemy hasn't even gone a full round yet. All the flesh. Alright. Well, Angelica Jones is back on death's door and there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. Can we kill even one enemy? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get even a single kill here. Alright, well... Like lambs to the slaughter. Man, this is going to go down. We're getting butchered like that pig. Oh, I forgot there was a healer back there. We're going to go down like that luau pig, though. This is not going to end well. We might be able to get that rapturous cultist. It seems a little unlikely, but we might get him just like through incidental damage. If we could get through even one fight, I would honestly consider this a win. Here, hit him with a bleed attack. Oh, there you go. That actually, oh, if we got to bleed, it will kill him. That's fatal damage. We killed a guy. I feel pretty good. Honestly, this is better than the New Warriors ever actually did in reality. The New Warriors, I don't think, ever scored even a single kill, so... They're moving up in the world. Vance Astro is bucking to make it, too. Called our bluff. Well, there goes Angelica Jones. She wasn't contributing much. Holy shit, 40 stress. Well, then. Heart attack? Yep. Alright, this, well, we've learned a valuable lesson. Heart attack. Well, okay, Vance Astro survived one heart attack. Way to be, Homer Simpson. And Night Thrasher is selfish, of course. Okay. Self-preservation is paramount. I mean, might as well try this again. We actually got 2 kills out of that. Nice work, Night Thrasher. Vance Astro with a monster whiff. And Vance Astro, accusing his foes and friends, has given them a fucking heart attack. Nice work. Way to kill Vance Astro. Oh, you're just dead then. Night Thrasher is probably never going to get a chance to even go again. Between the Death Lash and the constant stuns, there's no way he survives long enough to do this kind of damage. It's just not going to happen. Dazed the mind. He's just going to be stunned the whole time, I guess. Yep, there you go. Alright. Up, Night Thrasher's not even going to get a swing. Pete, you know, you could run away. Not at this point. If we run away at this point, Dwayne Taylor is still dead. Also, I think it's funnier to just watch him get chewed on. So yeah, this is going to be an incredibly short episode, actually, because we spent longer, I think, naming our team than we're going to actually spend having the team be alive. Well, there it is. Okay, well, Dwayne Taylor is dead. So we wasted a week and learned effectively nothing. We collected no treasure, but honestly, are we out anything? Nah. Dwayne Taylor, Vance Astro, Namorita, and Angelica Jones are never coming back, but I don't really feel like we're going to miss them all that much. We did waste a week. That's a little... The Dark is Rising. Minus 15% virtue chance on next quest. Yeah, you know, virtue chance is already 0. What's a slight penalty to it? The Dark is Rising? I don't really care. Everybody died. Well then, I want to test something here. These guys will not go back into the Darkest Dungeon, which honestly is fine. Really, all I want to do is get a little bit more intel. So what if we take... I mean, it doesn't really matter who. Superman... Well, I must be challenged if I'm to improve. Well, here you go, Superman. You're going to go into the Darkest Dungeon. Rachel Summers. Let's throw Steve Rogers in on this. And, I don't know, Typhoid Mary seems fine. Really, what I want to do here is just check out Talisman of the Flame ×3. So we still have... I was curious if we had used some sort of consumable, but it doesn't seem that we have. So let's cancel that embarkation. And I'm also probably... Man, this is like a supremely short episode, but... I got nothing left. I mean, I could sit here and crack jokes about your mom sort of doing strangers down at an Arby's, but honestly, dude, it feels a little scummy. Just because your mom is sexually adventurous, I shouldn't be... I don't want to be slut-shaming her. If she wants to go down and bang dudes in an Arby's bathroom, hey, more power to her. Everybody involved is having fun, as long as, you know, they're practicing safe sex. What's the harm in it? Well, okay, I suppose there is some sort of harm. What if you happen to be eating at an Arby's and you need to go to the bathroom? I suppose that's the one avenue of harm. And let's face it, if you're eating at an Arby's, at some point you're probably going to need to throw up. So having the bathroom occupied with a non-stop train gangbang is going to be a little bit irritating, but I suppose you could always just duck into the ladies. Nobody's going to really mind. You'd be like, please, I've got to vomit. If there's anybody in there, I'm sure they'll understand. They'll be like, oh yeah, beef and cheddar, huh? Well, they're going to do that to you. And that's where I'm going to wrap this episode up. I know it was desperately short. I was actually hoping to get a little better intel, but I do still feel like we learned a lot. We learned what kind of enemies we're up against and the fact that stress is still going to be a huge, huge problem. Which is, for us, a bit of a huge problem because no Johnny Storm in the next Darkest Dungeon. So we're going to have to figure out a way to manage our stress without a jester. So I'm thinking probably Steve Rogers is going to have to be at least some small part of the equation. Who else would we take in? Probably Clark Kent, because we actually got pretty good mileage out of Benjamin Grimm on our last dungeon. We'd need a power healer. I'm guessing Rachel Summers. And then maybe Typhoid Mary? Do we want to leave stuff alive long enough? Do we want to leave stuff alive long enough to potentially let blights be useful? You know, it may not be the blights that are useful so much as the stun, but I'm thinking that team actually would be okay. And we would also have somebody in that way to carry the Ancestors map. Now, I don't know if we can scout in that second level of the dungeon, but if it's activate 3 altars kind of mission, which is what it would, from the precursor that I saw there, basically what it seems to be, they gave us those 3 hands of glory. I'm guessing those are what we use to activate something. Maybe going in with the Ancestors map and the scouting bonus is a respectable idea. Now, we will have plus stress, but in the one encounter we had, the only stress-causing unit we saw was the Priest. We didn't see any of those Acolytes. It was Malignant, Gross, and Priest. That doesn't mean the Acolytes aren't in there, but I really don't want to feed 4 more Seekers to the... Which I don't want to Steve Buscemi him. I mean, I would chippered enough guys already. I don't really feel like we need to revisit that well. Honestly, because mostly we didn't... With Seekers that low level, we're not really going to learn any more than we've already learned. At this point, we've Joseph Mengele our way as far as we can Joseph Mengele. I mean, we have caused enough human misery and suffering for experimental purposes. Any more, then we're just, you know, we've gone full Nazi. If we go any further with it, this is as far as we can come and say that we did it for the sake of science. Anything after this and we're just a monster. Or, well, more of a monster. I mean, we're already still a monster. But now I'm just rambling, I guess, trying to fill time so I don't feel quite so guilty. I'm going to stop. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to it. Or if you want to throw a dislike for me being a scumbag and posting what's going to be like 15 minutes of footage, knock yourself out. That button's down there, too. If you want to see more scumbag tactics and me being a perfidious douchebag and sending people straight in to die, gas chamber style, like Joseph Mengele, you might consider subscribing as well, because I can't say I won't do it again when the opportunity arises for me to go see what's in dungeon number 3. And in fact, I can pretty definitively say probably will do exactly the same thing. Not with the new Warriors, of course, but I mean, shit, there are any number of X-Men spinoffs we could send to their graves. I mean, X-Force is still out there. We could do, they're totally disposable. Nobody's gonna miss them. Sunspot, who cares? I'll throw Bobby DaCosta down there. I don't give a single shit. Right now, though, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.